welcome to the Premier League podcast. I'm your host, Raheem, and I'm here joined with my two good friends, Jake and Z, as per usual. How you guys doing?
What's up, Jacob? What's up, Raheem? I'm good, man.
What's up, guys? Yeah,
I'm I bet you're looking
good.
forward to this one.
I'm all good. I'm all good here. All good here. Chelsea top of the league,
guys
so
are both
good week for
itching.
me.
Oh yeah, I bet it is. Yeah. It's all right for
the
some.
The view up here is quite glorious, I must say. The weather's lovely. Love it.
So humble from the top as well. It's crazy.
Champions of Europe, top of the table. What are you gonna do? It's hard being a Chelsea fan sometimes, I must say. All that winning. Oh, so many trophies. It's unbelievable. I'll start to stop because I guarantee we're gonna get slapped by Brentford.
Yeah, well, all right. So it's all right for some. It's all right for Chelsea fans. It's all right for Liverpool and City fans. For United fans, it's a bit of a tricky one. I mean, I've got written down here, Ollie losing the fans, ? Is Ollie losing the fans? We've had a not great run of games. Losing to Young Boys, then to West Ham in the Carabao Cup, out straight away, first round, and then Aston Villa managed to just about get a draw against Everton, managed to nick the win against Villarreal. I mean, with the players that we got, as rival fans, I mean, are you guys expecting more from United this season?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely stacked. They filled so many gaps, like Varane in the back, replacing Lindelof basically full-time as long as him and Maguire are going to be healthy. You got Ronaldo, which was so unexpected, but that's like talisman. That like instantly should make you a contender, like no matter which team you are, pretty much in the league. Injuries, fair enough, like Rashford's out and stuff, but like Sancho, like one of the most talked about prospects in Europe for the last few years, you finally get him after years of like back and forth, seemingly pointless negotiating. And then it's just like, you've got all these amazing tools, but then you have
on the bench.
And it's like, you can't do anything. Like, fair enough, if you have the nicest ingredients, if you give me the best ingredients, I'm not going to make you lasagna worth eating. I don't know how. Ollie not make a lasagna. And right now, Man United fans need some nice fucking lasagna. You know what I'm saying? Right? You've got the ingredients, you don't have a knife. So yeah, somebody other than Ollie, if they were there, would, I think, do a much better job. You'd feel way more reassured with someone, with maybe someone else, a stronger manager. A manager who understands that you can't overplay like Ronaldo and leave him on the bench. Like, his body language about it, he wasn't happy, but...
No, he wasn't.
Like, where's the clarity or transparency around why you're not playing him? Are you managing his minutes?
Well, that's what he came out and said. He said that Ronaldo knows that he's not, as young as he used to be, and that he can't, play every game. So we're managing his minutes.
I mean, but like with a guy with a physique like that, he's like got the body of like a 25-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you really need to manage his minutes if he's in that good?
I mean, when he was at Juventus, he played pretty much every game. He's never been one to have to manage his minutes.
He's been in like peak condition for about 7 years.
Yep.
Like, you don't need to manage his minutes, in my opinion.
No, I think most fans would agree with you. I mean, seeing Ronaldo on the bench was a surprise. Seeing Cavani starting was, I think, a lot of United fans would have thought that was good because he played so well in the Champions League. I think. But seeing Ronaldo on the bench was definitely a surprise. Seeing Martial start instead of maybe a Sancho, surprise again. But all these changes and still see McFred in the midfield, I think is what maybe, not maybe, definitely is causing a lot of frustration with the United fans. I think a lot of fans are getting frustrated seeing Fred and McTominay play every game and not seeing players like Donny and Matic get a chance, especially Donny, who played in the Carabao Cup game and was, in my opinion, and a lot of United fans' opinion, the best player on the pitch in that game. And though we lost to West Ham in that Carabao Cup, Donny played very well. And then he hasn't had any minutes since. So you think to yourself, I think the problem right now is, we've seen the blueprint with Chelsea last season. You Jake, you ruined it. You guys ruined it. Yeah, last season we saw Frank have an amazing summer. This season we see United have an amazing summer. We see Frank not know how to use the tools, club legend, and Abramovich doesn't mess about. He wants success. Boom, right? He's gone. Tuchel comes in. You guys win the Champions League. United now have a similar situation. We've had an amazing summer. Ollie's got all the tools, but we're not seeing the results. It's like he doesn't know how to use them. And we know what Chelsea did last season. So everyone's like, well, like, how long are United going to wait? How far behind are we going to have to fall? And I'm not sitting here saying that I'm Ollie out, because I think with Ollie it's different to how it was with Jose and how it was with Moyes and Van Gaal. I think him being a club legend and the fact that what he's actually done up until this point is good. Like, I think we needed him to steady the ship. We needed him to rebuild, to change the atmosphere around the club, because the atmosphere was toxic. We needed him to do all that stuff, but I just think he's got to a point where he's reached the ceiling at what his level is. And I hoped I was wrong, but point where he's reached, he's done what the most he can with that squad, and we now need to go up to the next level of manager to go up to that next level to compete with Chelsea, City, Liverpool, to compete on that level. I think we need to go and manager up. He has no excuses with this squad. This is the squad that he wanted, and I think a lot of managers in the Premier League would love to have a squad like what he's got, and are doing more with less players. We always look like every time we play an opponent, we always look like the team that's got the weaker squad for some reason, because I just don't think Ollie's got the right tactics and maybe to play these. I don't know, when playing these teams. You look at Aston Villa, you look at West Ham. Moyes will come and absolutely school Ollie. Rafa Benitez, Everton. They didn't have Calvert-Lewin. They didn't even have Richarlison, and yet, they didn't look like they were struggling at all. West Ham didn't have Antonio when we played them. It's just not really good enough from Ollie. So I think from the rumblings of Twitter, and I know Twitter is not very an accurate representation of what everyone, what logical people were thinking, but the rumblings on Twitter, you got the fan channels, you got just speaking to fans just in general, when I like people at my work, or friends that I know that are United fans. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that they don't think Ollie is the man for the job, and we probably need to make a change to get to that next level.
Ollie confuses me, purely based on the fact that I don't understand him. Some days, some games, he can be a tactical genius, up there with Pep Guardiola, and then other days he generally is just a fucking PE teacher, and it's baffling. And then literally, I just don't understand. I just don't get him. Like, this is very much a make or break season for him. I think, like, with the investment you've made, the squad, the players that you've got, anything short of a quadruple is a failure, and you're already out of one competition. So already the pressure meter is cranked up a little bit. But yeah, I don't get him. I don't. And also, I noticed something very recently. I was scrolling from YouTube, and a BT Sport video came out where they interviewed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it was quite they had the quote, like what he said, and it was like, "This is quite a disappointing result," literally like that. And the thumbnail was of him smiling, like as if he's having a laugh at the joke.
Oh, was that this weekend though.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
then I went back and they changed it to a bit of a more serious face. But then like I went back and there was a after the Villarreal game, it was like, oh, great result, and the quote was like a great result or like something along that, like a positive quote. And he had a face like absolute thunder. And you're kind of like trying to portray this sort of thing that he's not in charge of, or he doesn't know what he's doing.
You can't always go by those though. You know, I think.
Oh no, I know, but like he kind of paints a picture because like I know because like some people are trying to portray that he's not the manager Cristiano Ronaldo is, because there's that picture that done by like Norwegian media or scan where like they photoshopped Ollie out of the picture and just have Ronaldo giving instructions, and then someone went, "This is the actual picture," and Ollie's there doing instructions as well. Like they're kind of painting a picture of like he's out of his depth, he's useless. But then that being said, when pressure like this builds and gets to a crescendo, he fucking pulls out the bag.
He always pulls out the bag. I know, he does, doesn't he?
And you go on this fucking
every time.
You go on this insane run. Like win like 20 games. You don't lose in like 20. You batter a team like 3-4-0, and then he saved his ass. And then was like, Ole is back at the wheel. It's nice and steady. We're above 50 miles an hour and all that. You know, like Rio Ferdinand gets a bit jumpy on BT Sport every now and again. Ole's at the wheel, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then again, this hits. Is he the right man for the job? Blah blah blah. And then he does it again. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle. It
is, but
the wheel needs to be broken.
It's running out. I think that cycle is running out because at some point your luck has to run. And I'm not saying it's luck that's got him there. Although some matches we have been lucky, I think at some point your luck does have to run out. And you're right in the sense that sometimes he can have games where he seems like a tactical genius. I think. I mean, they're not very often, but they do happen. I remember last year thinking, we got that group of death in the Champions League, and we had PSG and we had RB Leipzig. PSG had just been in the Champions League final the last season, and RB Leipzig had been in the semi-finals that season. So we had the semi-finalist and a finalist in our group. And we had gone on a bad start to the season. We had lost like one of the games and drew one of the other ones, and we had lost another one, and things were looking bad. And then we had PSG and RB Leipzig, and everyone was like, we're gonna get battered. Like, we're gonna get absolutely battered. We go into that PSG game and we pull a massive win out of the bag, but it wasn't just like a smash and grab. Like we were really good. Like it was madness. And RB Leipzig, I think we won like 5-0. It was like Ollie does this sometimes. Like he can just pull these wins out of the bag in like situations where things are absolutely dire. But I do think that's gonna run out at some point because I think teams are getting better in the Premier League. The level that some of these teams are playing at, and even like your what were considered mid-table teams, West Ham, Aston Villa, Leicester, the level that these teams are playing at now, I think you'll get found out if you don't have the proper tactical setup to be able to play against these managers. And I can only think that it'll run out. I mean, last season we managed to win the Southampton game, but this season we drew it. Last season we beat Aston Villa and we lost it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's already, results are already turning a different way to how they were last season.
And again, it's still early doors, so you never know.
It is, and
he's probably going to do a madness and put a massive run together. That's what he does. Like it's going to get to the point, like in about a month or two, it's going to be like this is a make-up. This is like you're going to have to win this game or he's sacked, and then you'll win. And it'll be against like Man City, and they'll win like 3-0. You know what I mean?
Well, if you look at our next run, our run for the next like 10 games, it's pretty scary. We've got Leicester, then we got Atalanta in the Champions League, then we got Liverpool, then we got Tottenham, then we got Atalanta again, then we got City, then we got Watford, then we got Villarreal in the Champions League, then we got Chelsea, Arsenal, and that's the 10 games. But none of those are easy games. I mean, I guess with no disrespect to Watford, but maybe Watford is the easier of those games. But all the others, City, Leicester, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, all in like a back-to-back running with Champions League in the middle, Atalanta and Villarreal. It's not an easy run.
That is a gauntlet. Like, get through that. That is a crazy run. And you say Watford, obviously Watford aren't anywhere near as strong as the other team, but on a good day,
Yep,
if Ismail Assar is firing, United
exactly.
could lose.
So
United could lose. Like, I'm under no
100%.
pretense that Maguire, Varane, De Gea, whoever's back there is going to shut this guy out entirely. Like, I don't think
No.
with Ollie, Man United are at that level. They're like a Tuchel, Chelsea, or a Guardiola, City, or a Klopp, Liverpool, where they come up against Watford. You're like, all right, we expect them to keep a clean sheet and see this one
Yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah.
United are in more danger in those sorts of games, but yeah, like Ollie's due some inevitable, bullshit streak where just everything goes for him, hot hand mode. But I was looking at the fixtures, and let's say he had like 3 months to kind of see things out that would lead us to Feb, almost into Feb, and United play Southampton in Feb. So if there's going to be an annual 9-0 battering, just saving Ollie's life, Feb is going to be the month. I'll bet some shit. Like, I'm gonna see how things go for 2 months. Start getting the checkbook out. Walk into Ladbroke.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Watford might be harder now that they've sacked their manager. I mean, I didn't even know that. I saw the stats, but they've sacked their manager like every year
A lot.
for like the last like however many years
it's
since
been-
like 2011. Sometimes multiple times in a year. They did it three
And-
times in 1 year.
And
17 or 18.
Chelsea get shit for that.
Yeah, I realized. I didn't even know.
Bruh.
I thought Chelsea were the worst.
The thing with Chelsea though is Chelsea's managerial coaching position, whatever, is one of the hottest seats in football because they demand a quick turnaround. Like with the way they're set up, like if you come in at the right time and Abramovich is willing to spend, he'll buy you half a squad. Like,
Yeah,
but then
definitely.
you don't have longer to develop it. He's like, no, I'll give you what you want at the start. You got 2 years, as opposed to Watford, where some of them don't have the performances immediately, but it's like, well, you're Watford. Like, you're not set up to compete with teams that play more attacking, more direct football. Unlike a team like Leeds, because Leeds came up from the Championship and like, well, we'll concede 3 to score 4. Like, Watford don't have that mentality. And so I think they're looking for managers to almost do the impossible. Well, they keep coming back up. Like, they're good enough for the Championship to come right back up.
Yeah.
But you're not going to
Yeah.
sustain any managers if you keep firing them that quickly at a club where you don't have everything to start with. It takes time to develop. And we've seen other
Definitely.
managers start at clubs, and they didn't have a first, couple of good seasons. Klopp at Liverpool, arguably, was not very good. Didn't achieve the aspirations people were expecting the first few years. I mean, if you look at his managerial record, it's pretty
until when he bought Van Dijk
Van Dijk,
and Alisson.
yeah.
But Pep was the same.
Like this is
Pep was the same. It took him a little while.
and
He
these are
had
the
to
best
buy like
managers.
3
Best players.
right backs before he it's like 3
Yeah.
right backs and two goalkeepers before
Exactly. And it's just like it takes the best managers and the best teams time to adjust. And obviously Watford are kind of, I don't know if it's impatience or bad judgment. They keep hiring people that aren't a good fit as well, because it's like they do have some pretty good players. Every team in the Premier League has at least a few decent players.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
I mean, yeah, like we talk about Ismail Assar, he's a really good player.
Yeah.
Top player.
Yeah.
Can't
Like,
see him being there for too many more seasons before being
No.
picked up by another club.
Prime examples obviously like San Maximin is too good for that team. But
Oh mate, he's unreal.
As long as he's there, they should not get relegated. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what Watford kind of need to have. The same thing with Sarr and like focus again around him, all their best players. But then sometimes they fall into really defensive, negative, football.
Yeah.
And if you do that for long enough, it tells a player, it doesn't give the players a good sign as to how they should play. Like, hang on, why are we sitting back? Like, we feel like we could do something. Compare that to like, Grant Potter Brighton, who are amazing.
I was literally going to compare, say
what
that.
they are such massive overachievers.
So good for what they do, for what they are.
If you want to be defensive, be a Sean Dyche's Burnley. It can work. You can be that stalwart team that even Salah doesn't have a good record against, right? But at the cost, you play that mode so often that it also stifles you against the lower league teams or lower level teams who maybe you should be more competitive with. but they'll eke out a draw. Burnley, like on their day, they'll get a draw with anybody, but they're happy to do that. So I think, yeah, Watford's managerial position changes and stuff is identify actual identity to your team and stick with that. Too many managers changing things too often. The players are kind of pulled in all directions. They don't get to focus on one thing that might actually work. I guess the best managers come in knowing that immediately, like Guardiola. Yo, come in, stop what you're doing, do everything I tell you. It's going to work.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a manager availability issue.
I mean, you speak about Brighton, but they're doing very well this season so far.
Yeah, but I mean, I think they're way better than they should be.
I think. Did you watch them against Arsenal?
Yeah, I did.
They deserve to win that.
They should have won. Like they should have won, 100%.
I agree.
That new boy there's on.
Arsenal were lucky. Arsenal were lucky.
That new guy they brought in, Cucurella. Oh, he had an outstanding game. But I worry for Brighton because it seems like he was their only really creative outlet, and that's mainly because Arsenal who was playing right back, and Tommy Arthur, they just give him so much acres of space, and they're basically seeing what he's putting all these balls in the box for the strikers, and they're not stopping it. And like, if you come up against a team where they identify it quickly in game, and they say, okay, this guy is causing problems, let's shut him off. What do Brighton really have? That's my only concern for his side, is that they've only got one outlet, and that might be a concern if more experienced defenders and teams shut him off.
I'd agree. I mean, I think Brighton's Achilles heel is their finishing is atrocious.
Absolutely, awful.
Neil Maupay.
Oh yeah, they need a proper striker.
They do need a proper striker. You know,
that's why someone like Sam Maximin will come in very well and do the job, I think.
I would love to see him at a team like Brighton, but they're so organized, they're so disciplined, and to have one player where it's like, look, budget Ronaldinho, do your thing, like just go ham. Like, you know, if you want to do rainbow flicks, somebody give him Xbox controller so he can actually do the tricks that he's doing in real life. Like, what's up, defender? I'm about to do my Zidane pirouette. Rotate that and run past.
I think people forget though. Graham Potter, he already beat Arsenal with that. Because he managed a Swedish team, didn't he? Before he was at Brighton, his team in the Swedish league. He brought in quite a few like young rejects from like Premier League clubs, and they beat Arsenal in the Europa League at the Emirates. So he's not a manager to be slept on, but I think a lot of people forget he's done that.
Yeah, and might we add, Brighton didn't have Basuma that game, and they still, they still looked good. Yeah, I mean, if we move on to one of the to the next topic on the list, obviously Chelsea played this weekend. They're currently top of the league, like you said. Jake is rubbing his hands together because he can't wait to let rip on VAR.
Let me just get ready.
And by extension, because obviously he has issues with VAR, so does Z because of AC Milan in the Champions League, which if you've been listening to the podcast, he also follows AC Milan. So go on, Jake, let rip. Talk about VAR.
Oh, where to begin? Firstly, I just feel sorry for Timo Werner, man. You know what I mean?
You guys won the game, though.
Yeah, but still, I think for me, that's just vindication, literally, because we were robbed of a perfectly good goal. Like, I just feel sorry for Timo Werner, man. Like, the amount of disallowed goals he's had for VAR. Most of them, I'll be on hands up. Most of them are his fault. He should know the offside rule. Frankly, he's a striker. That's his bread and butter. He should know that. So, if you're listening, Timo, sort it out, mate. Come on. But like it's just such a bad decision. Like, it seems like every time Timo Werner scores, they're like, let's check VAR. Oh, there was a foul 10 minutes ago that might have affected the build up of the goal. Let's disallow it. But like, that tackle from Azpilicueta was
definitely not a foul.
Was
in my opinion, that was not a foul.
First of all, it wasn't a foul, and second of all, it was so long ago. Frank Lampard was still fucking manager. That's how long ago it was. Literally, had nothing to do with literally anything with regards to Timo Werner's goal. Like, on the highlight reel, they didn't even show it. They just showed the chance and disallowed goal. It didn't show, like, usually when VAR disallows a goal for a foul, it's like literally like two or three passes away from the goal. this was about 5 or 6 away from the goal. It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, VAR kind of helped us out with the red card. And like they said, we won the game. We won the game. Timo Werner finally got a very well deserved goal. I think it's an interesting game because I think Tuchel's trying something different, like trying to play Lukaku and Werner together because they're quite. Obviously, Lukaku's the big man, holds up play. Obviously, we saw Werner last season. He likes to run in behind defenders, and I think that could be quite complementary to each other. And I saw a lot of Lukaku's selflessness against Southampton. He kind of holding up the play, bringing people in, letting people run off him.
Yeah, at the expense of my fantasy football team.
Yeah, I know, and me. I've captained him like a chump. But yeah, I think overall, obviously we had a bit of a blip with losing to City and losing to Juventus. But I think I've looking on social media, and football fans are very reactive. As soon as Chelsea is it's not working. Tuchel, got to go. Doesn't work. It's not working. Blah blah blah. Oh, it's not good enough. Blah blah blah.
I think you guys have a reputation for being the worst of that.
Bro, I'm sitting there thinking, what you reading? Bro, we literally 4 months ago he lifted the Champions League trophy. Why is this happening now? I'm one of those kind of people. It doesn't if this is later in the season, in the run in, and we play bad, and we're trying to title, then maybe I'm come on, but this is game 6, game 4 to 6 sort of thing. Calm it down. It doesn't matter because some days you can have games where it's not going to go right for you. It didn't go right for us.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have a game like
didn't that. Go away against it. Didn't go away against Juventus. But for me, it matters about how we bounce back and how we crack on. And we bounce back. Made a bit of a hard fought win, but it's a win nonetheless, and I'll take it. So that's obviously plopped us top of the league. Obviously, Man City and Liverpool doing us a favour by cancelling each other out means we stay there for another 2 weeks, which is lovely. And then we have Brentford away next, which I'm quietly cracking myself about because I can't. Again, Brentford's a team I can't place. I can't put my finger on. They're a surprise package, a very dark horse.
I said that at the beginning of the season. I said they're a good team.
You did. And I'm the idiot who said they'll get relegated. Still early days though, but probably not. But so yeah.
I mean, on that, Jake, on the whole VAR thing. I mean, how far back is too far back? Because we've seen we've seen instances where VAR has gone, maybe what we would consider too far back. I mean, I don't know if it was last season or if it's the season before, but I remember there was a game. Don't ask me which 2 teams it was either. Maybe it was Burnley, I think, and someone else. But there was, I think there was a penalty call on one side, and then they pulled it all the way back and gave penalty. No, that's what it was. There was a goal. So a team scored, and then they disallowed the goal and pulled it all the way back for a penalty on the opposition side.
My God.
From way before. I honestly don't remember which game it was, but it was a game in the Premier League. And so the question is, how far back is too far back? Because at some point you got to have a cut-off point. And I still agree that wasn't a foul. By the way, he went down way too easy. The Southampton player was it Kyle Walker-Peters? He went down way too easy.
Yeah, I did how far back because literally that was quite a way back. And for me, if you're going to disallow a goal for a foul in the build-up, it's literally in the build-up. So the final 2 or 3 part, one or two passes, so the pass to the assist or the pass to the assist. That's a cut-off for me. But then again, I'm not refereeing Premier League games. I don't have the luxury of VAR. But it's kind of it's kind of when you're playing FIFA, you tackle someone, the thing goes up, going, it's advantage, and then literally you play about another 15 minutes of the game.
2 seconds.
you play another 15 minutes and go, yellow card. It's okay to give me a foul for something that happened 20 minutes ago. All right, mate, cool, lovely. It's like that, and again, there has to be a cut-off point, and there has to be something to say okay, if the pass to the assist or the pass to the assist, there's a foul in there, then sure, put it back, but not 5 or 6 phases of play before the actual goal. You know what I mean?
I think if the offence is bad enough, then maybe you can go back as far as they did. I don't think they. I remember seeing it. I just had another look at it just a second ago, obviously they went back to the beginning of the whole build up to going into the attack, and then crossing into the box and then another cross into from the other side. But they went back from the beginning of that where Kyle Walker-Peters loses the ball, and then that's what starts your attack. So fair enough. If the tackle was bad enough, maybe I don't see a reason why you can't go back that far. If it was a really bad tackle, but I mean, even if it was a yellow, I think it's far enough back where maybe you can say just they had enough chances to clear the ball and move the play on. But then at the same time, if you're an opposition, you might feel completely different, when it's happened to you and you've just seen your player get fouled on further down the pitch, and then they've scored, from however many passes down the play.
If it was such a bad foul, then why wasn't the free kick called?
That's true.
That's my basically issue with the whole thing as well, because it's interesting how we're talking about how far back is too far, but it's like, well, how long is too long to make a decision? Surely, the initial, and my issue with it, this is for everything, offsides getting called 5 to 10 seconds after, and fouls getting called even longer than that. It's like, well, why are you letting play continue? Because what if somebody gets injured in that dead time that doesn't count for anything because you've given them 5 to 30 seconds extra in which to still compete like it's a normal game? That is so dangerous and reckless for them to have to put such a delay in, because like you said, they were actually still playing. They've moved the ball up, even though Azpilicueta apparently commits the foul, so there's no advantage because he's the one that caused it. It's just terrible refereeing all round, and it's just interesting how we're how far back. They should have been more finite with the first decision. For a few seconds, you got people in your ear. You should know. It shouldn't go on that long, because and that's the thing. It's a cumulative effect as well. If it happens multiple times a game, you're going to increase your chance of getting injured. You're also just going to get knackered playing harder for longer than you actually need to. You need to take rests whilst you're playing, right? To manage your manage your stamina, manage your energy. It's just the whole thing is kind of ruining that aspect of the game. You're making people play for time that is essentially worthless. So they need to cut that down. So yeah, I think the foul wasn't even a foul, but it was also...
Nah, it wasn't.
I just want to point out
that it probably was a bit too far back.
I just want to point out that Mike Dean was in charge of that VAR decision, and that's the most Mike Dean thing I think I've ever heard him do. It's just to pull something that far back.
Everyone says it. Massive ego, and it's not surprising.
I mean, on that, Z, with the offside calls, I understand why they let those play through though, because when they've got a chance on goal, if you let the play run and they score, if the decision's wrong, VAR can overturn it. And I think back to the Dortmund versus Man City Champions League game last season, and Jude Bellingham scores. Well, Jude Bellingham was through to score an amazing goal. I think what was it that the keeper, he was 1-on-1 with the keeper. He beats the keeper. He goes round him, and then they blow the whistle. It's not an offside, but they blow the whistle. Then they realise the decision's wrong, but VAR can't do anything because he didn't go through and score, so there's nothing to pull back. And if they had just let the play run, Jude Bellingham would have scored. Then Dortmund would have had a goal, and they could have used VAR.
That I get, for tight calls, I get it. Let the play run. But you've seen some of them, they're so egregious, they're so bad, even in real time, they're miles offside. I'm talking the sort of pass where the striker is obviously so far offside that at that point the defender is in no man's land. So it's eventually going to be a 1v1 between the goalkeeper and the striker. And if the striker's running onto that and the goalkeeper has to get down and save it, 7 times out of 10, strikers going head over heels over the goalkeeper, right? We see it all the time. They're both converging. I'm just saying stuff like that. What if that happens, you get injured, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, it wouldn't have counted anyway. I would take my shoe off and throw it at the linesman from wherever I was on the field and be like, this is your fault. If you'd have told me it was offside, I would have stopped running. So that's the thing I get. It's just, it's like American football. It's taking so much longer. Football is good for the quick decisions and the correct quick decisions. That's what I need to focus on. But you were saying about Mike Dean earlier. And obviously, he had a similar moment in the Liverpool City game where, man, Pep had a
Oh,
point.
how did
Pep had a point.
Milner not get a second yellow for that though? That was a foul.
So there's a rule, I think, somewhere in the referee's rule book, whatever, that says that you can only book a player whilst at the current age that they are, and because Milner is technically ageless, he's immune to second bookings. He can only be booked once per game. It's a rule. I checked it out. I'm not even joking. In the basement of the FA offices, there's a scroll in the bottom. I
This
don't
is
know
cr-
to decrypt it.
There's the
I know,
short for you.
that was a clear second yellow into a red, as I've seen in a long, long time. And they were like, nah, James Milner, what a guy.
What a guy.
Gives it all.
They probably
Gives it
went for his
all.
autograph afterwards. got him to take a
Bernardo
selfie and sign the
Silva's
shirt.
there. Exactly. Bernardo Silva's there like, yo, I just almost did a front flip and headbutted the ground. But that's cool, right? Yeah, I mean, we could talk about the whole game, obviously. First half, City dominated. I think
They
it's fair to
dominated
say
first
they
half.
imposed themselves.
Yep.
Liverpool did well to hold them off. And
hmm
I mentioned him, Bernardo Silva was amazing. Like that
Yep.
dribble where
When
just held
he
up.
pirouetted like round those players and then like did that run, oh my days.
Set Foden up on a platter. Probably
Mhm.
should have done better. Good save from Alisson though. But yeah, I think Silva was incredible the entire game.
Yep.
And yeah, they bossed the first half. The second half is where it became instant classic Hall of Fame level because everything just went right. But both teams, to be fair, like Mo Salah, I was thinking about this actually just the other day. I was like, is he now? Does he currently now have his strongest contention for being the best player in the world? Like, genuinely, even that season where he was amazing and he scored 44 goals in 52 games, Messi and Ronaldo were still at their peaks. Right now, for me, it's him, Lewandowski, and Benzema. I'm just talking about that category of attackers as well. I don't want to put defenders and stuff in there because it's just a completely different ballgame. But yeah, those right now
are they going to be the next best players? Yeah.
He's ahead of his
look,
mark.
Salah has been at a very high level for a long time. You know, I mean, he is just so consistently good. Like consistently, even last season when Liverpool was struggling, the one guy you could rely on to still score, Salah. But I mean, he is a serious player that Chelsea let go, and you know.
Hey,
I don't want to talk about it.
You want any more salt in that wound? I got a little bit here. I'll send it over. No, the dude is phenomenal. And you know what else is amazing? Mane's back on form as well.
He is.
He's more wasteful, but he does have the goals to actually back it up. I think he's got a handful of goals already. So it's kind of like both of them are back to the season before last because there was a dry patch last year with Mo, but he picked it up near the end. But yeah, it's almost just like every game this season, his impact is so visually apparent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about players like Jorginho maybe not getting the credit they are due or deserve because they're a bit more subtle in the way they control the game.
Yeah.
But Salah was just straight up like, yo, I know it's City, one of the best teams in the world, but he was just on. He was in that zone. He was untouchable. Like the first Mane, I think, was incredible. Like just that little hop over.
Yeah.
The way he passed. He passed
perfectly weighted
him like
through
he wasn't
ball.
there.
Yeah, perfectly
great
weighted
pass.
through ball. And just then the second goal, which is just something else entirely. That's like goal literally 1 year in, and we have one of the strongest goal of the decade contenders we'll have. Like the plays he did it to completely bottom right, and then to top it all off, so many times we see him play on that side, left foot, left foot, left foot, shades of Robin. And this time he was like, nah, I got another foot too. Just like cut it in. And I was like, he's gonna have to take another touch to finish this. This is Mo Salah, Mr. Left Foot. Nah, banged it. I'm like, for the occasion and rising to it, like the guy is absolutely coming through clutch right now. And I was saying at the start, I think Liverpool are gonna win the league Defensively,
Really?
like that was my prediction
At the moment. Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Like,
I mean, look, at the moment they look so scary. Like they look like they're back to their, back to how they were in the season when they won it, where they were just, solid as a team. They're just so solid. And defensively, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to get through them easily. And attacking wise, Salah, Mane, even Jota and Firmino, they're all on it. So no team is going to feel confident going and playing them. No team is going to feel confident playing them. And when you got, you're talking about two of like these absolute giants in the Premier League in the footballing sense, and we saw this massive clash. It was just even me, United fan, who obviously does not like Liverpool or City. I had to sit there and enjoy it, but hate that I enjoyed the fact that it was such a good display between the two teams, especially that second half. And it was just so apparent to me that those two teams are so far ahead of us in terms of in the level that they are. But I think we have the players to get to that level. We just don't have the manager to do it. And so it was almost enjoying the game, but also making me sad inside. But
played by people you hate.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
But I mean, Salah. I mean, what a goal! What a goal!
Yeah, it reminded me of Hazard's goal he scored. He scored against Liverpool in Carabao like a couple of years ago.
Is that? I think I might know the one where he dribbled past loads of people as well.
Yeah, so like, I think it was Sarri. I think it was the Sarri season, the infamous Sarri season.
Sarri season. I remember how much you loved Sarri.
Fuck that Joker, man. You know what I'm saying? Absolute clown. What
Jake
a clown!
Was like calling Sarri out from like game 2.
Legit, I was. Well convinced by him, and
I know.
I've been proven right. But yeah, so like,
still won your trophy.
Yeah, whatever.
Tuchel
man. Tuchel ball, man. All in Tuchel ball. But yeah, like he got the ball like halfway, he played like a pass to someone on the right. But it was a really good pass. He played it quite short, and as he passed it, he basically ran towards the ball as well. And then someone just basically rolled it into him, and he literally just done his business. And I think like he turned like either Manquillo or Alberto Moreno like inside out, and then like fired it across Alisson like last minute, like 89th minute or something like that.
I don't remember that goal.
It reminded me of that. It did happen. It happened. Trust me.
No, I'm sure it did. I mean, Hazard was one of those type of players who had great dribbling as well. So it's not. I do remember a lot of Hazard's goals where he's dribbled past players scored goals.
It just really upsets me to think that we could have had like Lukaku up front, Hazard on the right, Salah on the left, Kevin De Bruyne sitting behind all three of them. Oh my God, that's so sad. It's actually really upsetting.
What a shame. Well, that's how I'm going to feel when Donny's somewhere else and absolutely tears it up.
You can just blame Solskjaer for that, really.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel any better. You can blame Jose for that.
Yeah, I do.
I'm still seeing more of the Frank Kessie to United rumours as well. I know I mentioned him last time. Obviously, he plays for Milan. But yeah, I keep seeing him. So if Donny does go, I wonder if Kessie will move either in Jan or next.
That'd be a good signing. That'd be a very good signing.
Yeah, he had a rough start to that Liverpool game, but he got much better as it went on. Took him about 20 minutes to adjust though, because it was just like an all-out blitzkrieg from Liverpool. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Milan, I only suppose in there because the whole VAR thing as well.
Oh yeah.
But that Atletico Madrid game is the definition of the word robbery. If you open up a dictionary, you go to the word robbery, what you'll find is actually the definition of the word robbery, because nobody would stick a picture of that referee in there. But just imagine his face was there, because holy shit. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the clip, but Kessie gets his first 2 fouls of the game, both getting yellow cards. When does that ever happen? Everybody gets at least one free punch, right? Within the first 15
They get a
minutes. Like,
warning.
Yeah.
across every league. You can get a shirt tug, you can get a scissor tackle, you can get an eye poke. It genuinely doesn't matter. Like, but the fact that he didn't even review it, and he was just so sure of himself and just thought, yep, he's off, changed the game entirely, and then compounded it with a 90-second penalty that bounced up, hit the Atletico Madrid player in the arm. He swung his arm forward. He hits the ball into, I think it was Tomori's arm or Kalulu's, and he gives a penalty. And I'm like, how is that a penalty? That was practically a handshake with a football in the middle. Like, he touched onto the other player. Is this how, like, the meta game is shifting now? It's like that whole, Mane in the Champions League final, like, oh, he kicked it into his arm. People don't mean to do this. Like, it was ludicrous, and he didn't do anything about either. And
Did they review those on VAR?
Nope, neither. He just, I think he did review, didn't overturn, or whatever it was shambolic. And then Milan actually filed a complaint, officially put one in against that referee to UEFA.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was telling you guys it was serious. Like, it wasn't just like Sunday League. Sunday League would have been improved. That guy would have had eyes. But yeah, I was like, dreadful. VAR has taken an absolute battering this week, all across the continent.
So there was a clip when like you was talking about it. I didn't see it, but like a couple of days later, there was a clip on like Sport Bible or something like that, and it was like, oh, the referee, like Milan have registered a complaint. The referee is so bad, blah blah blah. I was like, and there was a compilation. I watched it. And I was like, wow, that is fucking awful. And that's what I was like, I agree with you. Shit referee. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I remember somebody posted that compilation, and whoever posted it like immediately tweeted underneath. They're like, "Hang on, I found one more." Posted another one. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like,
He just posts the whole game.
And I'm gonna keep saying this every podcast, but there needs to be some fucking accountability for this shit.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
It does.
And the refs seem to have walk on hallowed ground, and nobody ever says or does shit to them or reprimands them for being terrible. Like, it makes the entire game different because players then have to try and work around these refs who are clueless. And like I said, it goes to the theatrics to make things apparent.
Yeah.
Perfect example, Foden in that game where Milner came in just outside the box, kind of clips him, but he doesn't fall. He falls, but he immediately tries to scramble back up. If he falls, then does a cartwheel. That's a penalty, even though it's outside the box. Like, you just know for a fact.
Yeah.
Whilst he was there on the floor looking up at the ref, like, yo, you saw that, right? He's like, damn.
Yeah. But that was actually just outside the box, though. So that should have been that probably should have been a foul. But yeah, it would have been a free kick.
I think it was a foul, just outside the box. But that's the thing, he didn't sell it. Ridiculous. Damn it, referees.
See, and then this goes back to our conversation before when we was talking about Ronaldo's penalties, and it's like, well, if you don't sell it, you don't get him. And now we're a couple of weeks later on the next episode, and we're seeing Foden. If he sold it more, he could have had a penalty, which is not because he should be more theatrical. It's just that he deserved the penalty for that. Because that was well, okay, not a penalty, but a free kick because he was just outside. But you see what I'm saying. But this is something that they need to sort out, because there needs to be a balance between whether players not having to dive, but also not feeling like they should have to dive to then get something, or over exaggerate.
Yeah,
say.
Absolutely.
We just need more transparency as well. Like, I really just want to start hearing from refs who are mic'd up. Implement something, for God's sakes. You can do everything else. You can have VAR. You can get them to rewind it to 50 seconds before for an incident. You can give them microphones. Like, we're grown people. We can listen to them.
Explain your decision. Yeah. No, definitely. Definitely.
But it is what it is.
I just like a referee to come out and just say, like, I fucked up, sorry lads.
Yeah, genuinely, that would make them seem.
If you imagine Mike Dean saying those words.
Oh no, Mike Dean would never say those words. He would go, I am the best referee ever. You don't question my authority. Or something like that. Like, you still I reckon Mike Dean sleeps in his referee kit.
I could see that.
With he's a Tranmere fan. He has Tranmere bed sheets and he's in his refereeing kit. and like he blows his whistle to wake himself up or something. He's one of those people who like lives and breathes to like ruin. He's one of those referees you come across where literally their sole purpose is to just ruin football for you. He seems like that kind of person to me, anyway.
I mean, I can definitely hear.
I ain't gonna make all them assumptions. That's a lot of assumptions.
I don't like referees.
I could definitely hear Mike Dean saying, I fucked up. As long as the sentence was, I am fucked up on alcohol, but I'm still sober enough to ruin your game. Yeah, guys, that's time me up. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
I'm fucked up. Who wants another pint?
No problem. No problem. Yeah, what a plan.
Well, it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I think the bubble has burst for United fans in terms of all the players that they brought in. Chelsea are top of the league. They look good, but I have to say Liverpool look really strong at the moment, and I'm not sure. If I'm basing it right now on who I think is going to win the league based on how well everyone's playing, City and Liverpool, they do look on a different level. But it's still early days, and we'll see how things go as the season goes on. I don't think you can really get an idea of where people are until about Christmas or after Christmas. I think things could turn around for United. Things could get worse for Liverpool. They could have a couple of injuries, Salah and Mane out, Salah and Van Dijk out, and then all of a sudden they'll crumble.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point about Liverpool, that they have so many huge cogs in like Trent, Van Dijk, Salah, that they're more likely to be missed. Because like right now, for example, with Chelsea, if Lukaku had been injured the last few games, I still think they win. And that's not just because he hasn't scored, but I think they've got enough depth to actually still beat the teams they've beaten with the way that they were playing, even without Lukaku. So I still think they fashion plenty of chances. And City, obviously, in terms of depth, I mean, we don't even need to talk about that. You could straight up just kill half the team, and the bench would still win games.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure, if you knocked Mahrez out and then just stuck him up on a scarecrow in the game,
what?
his body, his useless body, would still do more work than most other players. Genuinely, City are just so damn good
because he's just that talented.
He's just in T pose.
Yeah, just straight up.
It's like Pep Guardiola running him around.
Yeah. There's just so much creativity and flair in that team, and
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Foden to De Bruyne to Cancelo. Holy, this guy's amazing.
Yeah, Cancelo's so good.
Dude is just sitting in a corner of the field with De Bruyne's passing range and vision. If Thingy was up there on the scarecrow, they'd have it hit off his kneecap or something and be through.
Top right hand corner, curved in.
I wouldn't even doubt that.
Top bins.
Yeah, some of the stuff they pull out is just incredible. But I mean, City are still top, and United are actually on the same points as City. So as with Chelsea are top. Yeah,
that's it. Well, that's what Ollie would probably come out and say. Ollie would probably say we're only 2 points off top. I'm like, okay.
We're definitely trending in different directions, I think. But come on, man! We're waiting for that inevitable Ollie resurgence.
Oh yeah,
it's
coming. It's coming.
We'll have to see. I mean, in that last game, I have to say, Jadon Sancho came off the bench, and that was probably his best display in a United shirt so far. He looked electric. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he was taking people on, beating, making people look silly, just beating them, getting past them, putting balls in. It looked more like the Dortmund Sancho. But will he get enough game time to, actually show that? You look at the comparisons. Grealish has come in and played pretty much every game and has, looked amazing. But Sancho's been in and out of the team. So, I don't know. I mean, look, this is all Ollie again, but we've already had that conversation. I'm not going back down that road.
Too painful, isn't it?
Too painful. It's a painful road, that. But, let's make some predictions we got international break, which sucks. But it's also cool because we're all going to watch England play.
Hey!
For some reason.
Yes, we are.
No.
Oh, yeah. No. Allow it, man.
We are absolutely battered.
Yes, I want to. Yeah, I want to see Hungary get absolutely battered.
Yeah, it'll be quite sweet.
Definitely. But
stuff.
yeah, I mean, we'll finish off with a prediction for the England Hungary game. But let's start off. We got to do the big six. Haven't even talked about Arsenal. We just haven't had time. But I mean, Arsenal have been a lot better, and maybe we'll talk about them in the next show. But I think obviously we mentioned Brighton. We did talk about a little bit about Arsenal and Brighton, but we haven't actually talked about Arsenal's form improving.
It's because they're doing badly.
Yeah, like, that's
What's
why.
that?
Like, you can't really make fun of somebody that's doing well. Like,
that's
like we
why.
can do. Hey, what's up, Steven? Look at you with your fucking Lamborghini and your nice suit and your hot girlfriend. All right, Steven.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very. That doesn't sound very
Steven's
fun.
in the gutter. We will appear. All right. When Steven's
When
down,
they start to.
heart breaks down. Yo, what's up, Steven? You ugly dickhead. That's us. We're opportunists. But let's be honest. We did all agree a couple podcasts ago that Arsenal
would
with the
improve.
rematch, 2 out of 3 early on, and the surprising loss to Brentford, they would be different when Partey was back, when Gabriel was back, when Ben White was healthy again.
We did say
came
that.
in. Like everything is gelling a little bit more, and they still should have lost to Brighton, but I think Brighton are a better team than Arsenal, quite frankly.
I think so too, to be honest.
And they have a better manager, so yeah, like I don't expect Arsenal to be the laughing stock until, of course.
Well, I mean, that North London derby was Tottenham. Look, I mean, look, we'll talk about this on another episode because I can tell this is going to be a long topic if we start talking about the North London derby, where Arsenal are and where Tottenham are. But predictions, right? Manchester United versus Leicester. What are you saying? This is going to be after the international break. Is this going to be the start of the Ollie resurgence?
2-2.
Yeah. 1-1. 1-1, I'm just saying.
You guys are both going for draws.
I'm not convinced by I'm not convinced by Leicester at the moment this season, and Man United are they're in a bit of a dip.
We always struggle against
slow
Leicester.
decline.
I'm gonna say
resurgence is gonna be like 5-0 United. Resurgence. Positive imagery.
Yeah, if I say 5-0, well, would that make it more likely to happen? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go 2-0 United. I'm saying that hoping there's going to be a response from how it's all been. Not saying it because I'm confident we'll actually beat them 2-0, but 2-0 United. Let's do it. We always struggle against Leicester, but 2-0 United. Let's do it. Well, Arsenal playing Crystal Palace, so Arsenal against Vieira.
Oh, true. Invincible's connection. I actually don't see Arsenal conceding, so I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal.
I don't know because Crystal Palace have come back a lot in recent games. That they've kind of been down and out, and then they've come back and like pulled something out the bag. Like, but then again, like they absolutely outclassed Tottenham when they played them in their first like London derby against them this season. I wouldn't put anything past Palace nicking something from Arsenal, but I'm gonna say 1-0 Palace.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna go with 1-0 Arsenal. I think they might nick it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Okay, we got Liverpool, Watford. Jeez.
On form, I feel like Salah's gonna bang, and 3-1 Liverpool.
Scoring all 3 of those goals, yeah.
I think we get 2. I mean, it is the early kickoff, and
Yeah.
no one
Oh,
can that.
oh
You-
yeah. Never
But
back
if
the
there's
early
one
kickoff.
person
Never back the.
there's one person that can defeat Mahatma Gandhi, it's Mohamed Salah.
That's true. That's true.
The Egyptian king simply doesn't miss. So, yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool. And then I mean, the last time they played, Watford did bang him 3-0, and Salah scored twice. And that broke their, like, how many consecutive
I
wins.
remember. Yeah, that was crazy. I went for like a work, like an IT work do, and I remember thinking to myself, "Oh, that's an easy Liverpool win. They're gonna, they're continuing their unbeaten run." When I looked, like Watford was like 2-0. So I was like, "What?" Yeah, that was a massive shock. That was a massive shock. No one expected that.
I'm
Okay.
going to say 2-0 Liverpool. I'm going to say that.
Liverpool, yeah.
I think I would say if it was like Watford a couple of weeks ago, I'd say like 4-0. But I reckon
New manager bounce.
new manager fever.
Yeah,
I think
means
they'll
that
still lose.
they'll still lose, but they'll lose by less.
They'll lose valiantly.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0. To be honest, I mean,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, Liverpool are gonna win that comfortably. Man City, Burnley.
5-0, Mahrez hat-trick.
Literally, Man City always
Yeah.
destroy Burnley.
Hey, you think I'm
Despite
joking?
how well they did, they like their setup.
In his last two full seasons, 30% of Mahrez's goals have come against Burnley.
Ooh, little
So
fancy
5-0
football stat for you there.
That's a big stat.
Yeah,
Look,
and if
I have
anyone triple captains Mahrez and it doesn't work, you know who to blame. Yeah.
I have no notes in front of me. Like, you guys can see my webcam. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
I ordered a burger on my phone, so you know there's no notes on here. But yeah, I know that's a fact. Because every time he played Burnley, he bangs them. Just not when I captain it. It was the other game. I'd drop him by that time, but
So
Yeah.
5-0 from Z. What are you saying, Jake?
I'll say 4-0.
Yeah, I'm going to say 4-0 as well. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
but still a Mahrez hat-trick though, right? Like with your 4-0.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, positive vibes, guys. Getting him in
Of
this
course,
week.
yeah. I mean, Mahrez is scoring all four of them. What do you mean?
I mean, I haven't got him. He's not on my fantasy team, but yeah, hat trick.
He's dropping in price, making it more affordable by the day.
This is the one that you were nervous about, Jake. Chelsea, Brentford.
God, I really want to say we'll do really well, but I don't know because we've been a bit leaky lately, and Brentford have got a lot of goals in them, like the 3-3 draw Liverpool, for example.
Yeah.
Like three times they fought back. You can't count them out. So I think if to win, I think we'd have to get 2 or 3 goals in there. But I think I'm going to say 2-1 to Chelsea.
Okay.
Lukaku double though.
Lukaku double. Z.
I'm gonna go with 1-1.
Interesting. Ooh, going for a little bit of something different.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
you know what?
I've underestimated Brentford too many times now. It's like, look,
Yep.
I'm willing to give them the respect that they've earned. So 1-1.
You know what? I'm gonna go for 2-1 to Brentford.
You can't tell, but like, you can't tell, but I've rolled my eyes so hard at that.
I wish people could see this because Jake, Regina George, Mean Girls, eye roll right there would be the stuff of legend. Like, I don't know if there's any way I could get that eye roll into a sound, but I want to make it my ringtone. If that is the most sass I've seen on this podcast so far.
Well,
that was just a natural reaction.
I'm trying to will it into existence. Knock you guys off the top.
If your eyes had rolled back any further, you would have fucking turned into the Undertaker or something. I was like, holy shit, Jake. No, stay with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
moving on.
And the last one would do Spurs Newcastle.
Hmm.
Son is going to score. Like, I know that much. And
Saint Maximin.
I want St. Maximin to score, man. Like, I love that dude. And I love that song about him as well. But, yeah, I'm actually going to go for 2-2.
Oh, okay.
I want to see some goals.
I don't know, because it depends how Tottenham set up, really, because I think, and if Harry Kane's got a bit of confidence from that hat-trick in the Conference
Yeah,
League,
that's true.
bit back up and running. So, but Tottenham was just atrocious against Arsenal. Like,
They were so bad.
their setup and their shaping, the amount of space they left for the midfield, is just like Arsenal midfielders to go, oh, lovely, got a clean road. It's like when you go when I was driving during the pandemic on the M25 and literally there's fucking no one there. You're like, oh, fucking lovely. No one there. Fantastic. It was like that, and like Arsenal steamrolled them. But
Yeah.
I don't think Newcastle have the quality to punish that. So I'm going to say 2-0 to Tottenham.
Okay. I'm gonna go 2-1 to Spurs. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. But I think they've got enough to win the game.
Yeah.
Cool. And then last year, I guess we'll do England. They're playing Hungary. We're gonna be at the game. Maybe getting some footage. Don't know, to see how we feel. but
Don't tease it if we're not going to do it.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't know. TBC. But
Hey, if we get some food, I'm happy to make a food vlog. Right? I'm branching out.
Out. Jeez.
I'm going to become YouTube famous for my my appetite.
If only.
Always
Oh,
stuff.
well, that's actually possible, but yeah. England, Hungary. Are we going to batter them?
Yeah,
Yes.
4-0.
We've got Andorra first away, so that's pretty much.
Oh,
yeah,
7.
but we're
Not to
at that
jinx,
game,
not
that's probably
to jinx
an
it.
8-0, maybe 7.
Not
7-0.
to jinx it, but guaranteed 3 points possibly.
Don't say it like that.
Harry Kane to score all 8 goals and break the record.
And then come back to the pen somehow with no confidence for Tottenham.
No confidence and lose to Newcastle.
Labouring around the pitch, taking shots on the halfway line. Who wants out?
He's playing against Andorra. I don't know why I'm not going in now.
I'm gonna say we'll batter Andorra 6-0 probably, and then we'll beat Hungary maybe 3-4-0. I reckon.
I'll say 6-0 against Hungary.
Actually, we haven't got Maguire. Maguire's injured. That's big.
It's Andorra and Hungary.
Yeah, that's true. No, that'll be fun.
See, I'm saying 6-0 England. Fuck them. Fuck Hungary.
Yeah. This is the thing. These are all score lines out of spite. It's like, if justice exists, Hungary will get fucking battered.
Fuck you.
And then when we win, I want everybody on their phones and both screens in Wembley to show that Raheem Sterling Gillette advert where he talks about standing up to all forms of discrimination. Just play that over and over again. Loop it into Hungry TV stations.
So they can get their arse handed to them. And then they can get some talks of manners as well.
Yeah, that's the most British thing in the world. We'll teach you what manners are.
Here's your arse. Now, let me tell you about being racially sensitive.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys as well.
Yeah,
so
be good. Looking forward to it.
It'll be good, definitely. Cool. Well, that's the end of the episode today. Hopefully, it's not too long. I don't know.
I think it's too long.
Hopefully, I don't think so. But if you've enjoyed, spread the word, because this podcast is booming. It's underrated. We're underrated podcast. Trust me. So spread the word. Let everyone know. We'll be back again after the international break. probably after the first game week to chat
Mhm.
some more football, moan a bit more about VAR, and Zeke can ask for more accountability over and over again.
Hey, look, I'm doing it every episode. Every episode.
But as always, it's been fun. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Catch you later.
See you later.